Okay, welcome here. Today's video is all about question and answer. You guys were asking a lot of questions related to homeschooling and related to toddler and related to so many other topics, but today I thought like I will answer all your questions related to only homeschooling. I know a lot of you are very confused because you are very new over here, so I make videos related to lifestyle, homeschooling, and also parenting and DIYs, all the fun stuff. So, and I am nowhere expert. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a teacher. I'm talking all through my experience over here. And if you're new, you like to watch these kind of content, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. And I asked about these questions, like whatever you have, in my community tab of YouTube and also on Instagram. And some of the questions I have picked from the comment section of my homeschooling videos as well, because there were so many questions which were coming repeatedly. So thank you so much for sending me all your questions in community tab and also on my comment section and also on Instagram. I highly appreciate that. Now let's start with the first question. I have got all the questions in the paper. How to teach your 3-year-old writing? Okay, this is a tricky question because I started teaching Nirvi writing in tracing paper, like trace mountain or flower. I used to give her dash and dots, and then I started giving her her name in the dash and also her age to trace, so that it's a nice way to start teaching them that way, I thought. And also you can give them tracing A, B, C in a paper. That is also a good way to teach them tracing. But if your kid is not interested in tracing or writing, do not force them, because I was concerned about this too. My Nirvi, she is 3.5 now, and she had a lot of interest in tracing, but now she is just not at all interested. And I was like, she only wants to write her name and age, why not all the other alphabet and numbers? And this is the concern I had shared with one of the teacher, and she had given me this reply, and I'll share with you all because it is really important for you all to know as well. She said Nirvi is only 3-year-old, and if there is no issue for her to trace her age and name, then I would not worry too much. Their hand, the palm, are actually not developed fully yet. It is really hard for them to hold a pencil with a proper pencil gripping. I would make tracing more fun, maybe by curving lines and tracing the way I will show you the picture over here. So that is the fun way you can start giving them the writing practice. And I would always suggest, do not force your kid to write, because in the long term their handwriting will be really bad if you will force them. How to teach my 2 and 3-year-old kids alphabet and number? Flashcards. Flashcards are a really good way to teach them numbers and counting and alphabet, and both the uppercase and lowercase, and also to make them read. Flashcards are they are the best option. And when you go in the book, they just kind of mug up A to Z, but when you do in flashcard, you can shuffle all them and make them recognize the letter as well. So I think flashcards are the best option. So the next question is how to teach my 3-year-old sounds and reading. Okay, so sounds again you can teach through the flashcard. They are the best option, I will say. And how to teach them reading, you can start again with the flashcards. You can teach them sounds first, then one word, then through the sounds you can teach them how to read 2 words like of, it, and then you can go towards 3-letter D, and or there are so many other videos you can follow on YouTube if you want to watch the full way how people are teaching, because I will be starting after 1 month. We are taking a break actually from homeschooling. I'm not teaching anything to Nirvi for 1 month, so after 1 month we will start again the way we used to get the holidays, summer holidays. That's what I'm trying to give to Nirvi. I'm not forcing her to read or write anything or just do any homeschooling. I just want her to be her. Next question is how to make your 2 to 3-year-old kids to sit down for the study. Okay, so this question comes a lot in my these kind of videos, like how to teach and what to teach your 2-year-old and 2.3-year-old kids. I know a lot of you are thinking how the heck you should make them sit down. So it is very tricky. The tip here is, when your kids are 1 and 2 year old, try to make them sit down for 15 minutes, 20 minutes for any activity or for anything from from that age only. So it has to start from the early age. But if your kid is already 2 or 3 year old, what I would recommend is to do the study in parts. So if it is coloring activity, you can do it in breakfast, and if it is just alphabet or reading or flashcards, so reading you can do in the bedtime, during before bedtime, and in during quiet time in the afternoon. When it comes to alphabet and number, you can play teacher and student game before lunch or after lunch. You can just you can divide your day where you are going to do the study, and that's how you can make your kids sit down for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then gradually increase the time. Sometimes Nirvi does this, like she divides her time and she does all the studies in part, and sometimes she sits for 45 minutes also. So it totally depends on her, it totally depends on the kind of day we are having. I do not force her to sit down for anything, otherwise she just gets cranky and she makes me mad. So I do not want to be mad. Okay, so next question is how to make homeschooling fun. Okay, it totally depends on you, how fun you want to make and how boring you want to make. It totally depends on you. You can set a complete corner for at your home. You can set up the charts and the books and the table and activity, and you can make it fun in that way. I do not do personally that because we do not have much space, and Nirvi is fine, and I am also fine in teaching her in different areas. And sometimes we read book at my bed, and sometimes we do the activity in balcony, sometimes we do it in the kitchen counter. So it totally depends how you want to make it fun. And trust me, making homeschooling fun is the biggest idea. Otherwise there's no point in homeschooling your kids. You can send them to the regular school, you know what I mean. Okay, how to start teaching at 1. You don't have to start teaching your kids at 1. They're still very young to start making them sit down and learn. Instead, you can do a read aloud. You can start reading books very loud, not very loud, I mean loud to them. You can make them sit down and with you on your lap, on beside you in the breakfast table, and make them go through the books. Let them flip the pages, let them see the pictures over there. You can make the story for them, and also make sure to give them a lot of sensory activities. For that, you do not have to set up the whole room for the sensory activities. You can give them beans, you can give them a spoon to play with the beans, and then you can go out in the garden. Let them touch whatever is safe for them. Let them touch as much they want to. Let them play with water, let them throw the stones in the water. Give them sensory activities and let them explore nature more and read more books. That's the huge thing. Okay, how to engage your kids in homeschooling. How long should be the session? Again, I think I've answered all of these. You have to engage, you do not have to engage them. If they are interested in some kind of activity, then only do it. Otherwise you can just skip that and do the other activity. If you will force them to do any kind of activity, they are not going to do it. They will just make you frustrated, and they will be frustrated more. So if your kids are interested in reading Ramayana, Mahabharata, any other holy books, do that. If your kids are interested in doing more outdoor activities, do that. If your kids are interested in doing homeschooling outside, do that. If your kids are interested in doing active household chores, let them do that. These all the things will teach them the life skills. And the other part of this question was how long should be the session. It totally again depends on your kid. If they are feeling very tired of the study after 30 minutes, stop that. And if your kids are interested in doing the homeschooling in parts, you can do that too. It totally depends on how your day is, how you are feeling, and how your kid is feeling. The next question is, should I admit my kid to nursery or not? This is your family decision. It totally depends on you, how your schedules are. And if you are able to engage your kid at home, if you are able to provide all the things that they need at home, then I do not think there is any point in sending them to nursery. And when it comes to social interactions and all, for this you can do the video calls, you can let them go to the park, and you can, I know this is a crazy time, you cannot take your kids out lot of the time, but if you can take your kids to the neighbors or let them talk through the balcony or something, you can do that. So just you have to find out the ways they can socially interact. Okay, so the next question is where to get all the material that I'm using to teach Nirvi. I have linked all the material that I'm using for Nirvi to teach in all the videos, in the respective videos. According to the age wise, I have made videos like how and what to teach your 2-year-old and 3-year-old and 2.5-year-old. Soon I'm gonna be doing a video on how and what to teach your 3.5-year-old kids too. So stay tuned for that. But apart from that, I'll provide the specific material which are not provided online but are my stuff. So I'll be giving them on my website www.gautampragya.com whenever I'll make a video of these stuff. Okay, next question is not related to homeschooling but was asked, is like my 3-year-old do not chew food. Second is more how to make them more social and focus on thing. Okay, so both the thing should be started with the less screen time. I know when kids are watching TV or they are in front of a screen, they do not chew their food properly. Second, they take a lot of time in eating food. They also do not tell you the signals that they are full or still want to eat more. So make sure you can put the music on. You can also put their favorite rhymes or shows on the mobile phone, and keep your mobile phone away where they cannot see but can listen only. That's what I tell everybody out there. Just let them listen and eat. So this is the way you can start incorporating in their routine. But this is what we are doing from last I guess 6-7 months, and I think this is a huge thing. Limit the screen time and you will see the huge difference. Other part of this question was how to make them more social and focus on things. So to make them more social, you have to give them more video calls because this is the time where we cannot go much outside. You can talk to your friends and neighbors through the balcony. This is again the thing. You can let your kids play with other kids if you think it is safe to do this around this time. How to make them focus on things? Trust me, even when you're thinking that they're not focusing or listening, they are actually focusing and listening. Sometimes what happens when we think like we are flipping the pages and we are flipping the flashcards and they are not listening or seeing or focusing, but they are actually doing it. And they are always listening you. So just do not underestimate them. Do your part and let them do their part. It comes naturally and slowly. Focus is something which you cannot make them understand the word. You cannot force them to focus. Okay, so the last two questions are very frequently asked on my comment section of homeschooling videos, so that's why I have picked these. And first is my 2.5-year-old and 3-year-old son and daughter do not talk. Okay, so here's the thing. My daughter, she started making sentences when she turned 3 years and 2 months or 3 months. Before that, she was just talking in one word. Every kid is very different, and majority of the kids speak late. There are very less number of kids, those who speak very clearly and very fluently at very young age. Do not worry too much. There are kids, those who understand so much and they actually understand completely, but they do not talk in a sentence even when they are 5 or 5.5. So do not worry, everything takes time. Every kid is different and we are all in the same page. Do not worry so much. Okay, the last one is my 1-year-old son do not listen to me and follow what I am trying to say or follow my commands. This is a huge thing. You cannot expect all these from your 1-year-old kid, first of all, because and if you're thinking they are not listening, they are listening every single thing. And do not worry if you think like your kids are not following your commands or something. They're very young. They're very young to follow the commands. So they start following after 2.5. Trust me, till 2 you just do not have to worry much. More question was asked to me. What was that? Yeah, this was a very important question. Somebody's son was 3 years old and he never used to listen to her mama, and he does not follow her instruction or something like that. So what I suggest is, when they are saying you something, you need to listen them. When you will start listening them, they will definitely listen you. Sometimes you should look into their eyes directly and listen. Sometimes you just need to kneel down and listen. Sometimes you just need to lie down with them and talk. Make them, they are important, they are worthy, they are helped, they are listened. So if you will do all these, they will naturally get the habit of listening to you. On Instagram, if you're not following me, you're missing out a lot of fun, because I post a lot of stories, day in a life, like through the stories, and I post a lot of behind the scene and question and answer stuff on my Instagram. So if you're not following me, please go ahead and do that. I'll be so happy to connect with you over there, and if I have helped out even a single person, I'm really happy. Okay, so these were all the questions and these were my answers on it. Thank you so much for watching today's video, guys. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.